Hey, you guys, welcome in to Divine Golden Master. All right, this is Divine. I'm so glad to have you here. Excuse me, y'all. I appreciate all my new subscribers, everyone who is subscribing to the channel, who's supporting, who's liking my video. My leg just went to sleep, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Why my leg go to sleep? All right, I hope you're doing good. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into this topic, and this topic is gonna be about what is a program. Okay, I know a lot of people were asking me when I did a video about breaking free from the Christianity program and different religious programs and breaking free from so many programs that are here trying to distract us or um, push us into a direction, I should say, uh, or a way of doing things. So let's talk about what is a program, all right? And let's just get into it. If you're into intuitive tarot card readings, go ahead and check that description box down below and add my other channel at Divine Golden Intuition. Okay. But let's tap in. Okay. So what is a program? Okay. Or what is being programmed first? All right. Being programmed means accepting someone else's ideas and thoughts as your own without thinking about whether or not those ideas and thoughts are really true for you. Um, when this is going on, it's very hard to know your life purpose and even just know like yourself, right? And a lot of times, programs will take place when you're a child because a child is just being taught to listen to their parent. You know, you're not really taught to critically think. And this is something that I say to you guys very often about critical thinking and how vital it is on your journey. And not only how vital it is, but how vital that you utilize it correctly within your life, period. Because if you can critically think and maneuver your way through situations, you won't have to worry about being in situations or um, manifesting different things into your reality that you're not so satisfied with because you took time to critically think. You've weighed your pros and cons. You've listened to your intuition, and you've trusted into, okay, this is what my inner voice is saying. But it's hard to hear your inner voice when you are under a program. And a lot of times, you know, it's all of us that are under programs that are needing to break free from programs because we all have been raised by people that maybe necessarily you may not be on that same path as them, or you guys may just be very different. So you're needing to find your way, okay? Next, we have you ever done something or said something and wonder why you did it or why you said that? Someone someone jumped right into your head with the thoughts and actions, with the thoughts, and you acted on it. Okay, so a lot of times we are acting out of our subconscious mind. Okay, that is like the computer that is going, and the conscious mind sometimes is not always conscious of the subconscious program that's going on because you may have been doing something for so long or doing something a certain way, and effectively it's working, but it may not be necessarily, like, it could be affecting you, but you may not be noticing it affecting you because you've been doing it so long. And also too, like what I like to call people before they come to their awakening and before they awaken is zombies in zombie mode. And as myself, what I felt like when I started to really tap into what were my motivating factors, what were my core beliefs, things that, why do I believe in this, or why do I do this, and what is motivating this, and where does that come from? I started to understand myself and also to the programs that could have influenced me, okay, throughout growing up and evolving into adulthood, and also even just having my son, being able to look at my son and to see how I might have been putting a program on him and having to awaken that. You feel me? So you really have to take time to critically think, analyze. Um, y'all know I'm a Virgo, so I'm very analytical, okay? But you really have to take time to critically think, analyze, and question some things to see, something here is not adding up. And when you start to feel like that, that is the perfect time for you to go ahead and say, okay, well, if I did something, especially when you do something and you're like, oh, why did I just do that? Or you say something like, why did I just say that? It's very important to like slow yourself down and really check in with yourself and see like, okay, how am I going to respond to this? What am I going to say about this? And to actively talk back and actively answer honestly to see what is really going on, where it's stemming from, and who it may have came from. Because even too, it's not just as childhood. You may get into a relationship with somebody, or you may be around a friend or something, and you end up falling into their program. So it's all about staying woke and staying true to yourself and knowing who you are. Because you can't stay true to something that you don't know. So if you know yourself and you find out, okay, this is not really kind of the path I want to align with, you can actively do these things to help break free. When we are being socialized into society as young children, it's natural to accept all kinds of programming. Example for kids, like when they're learning how to behave at home, school, or in public versus a kid not only learning those things, but they also may be learning um, racist beliefs or uh, religious beliefs or cult belief or whatever it is. And a lot of times, parents are just doing what they feel best is for their kids because they're doing what they feel best is for them. And then of course they're gonna try to do that for their kids in the best case scenario. Sometimes, it could be other situations, but that is when you get to a point where you're needing to see, okay, well, this worked for them, but does it work for me? And what is this? What is this program that I am in? What is it? Or what are they? Because it could be multiple things that you could be kind of buying into without even knowing it subconsciously. Also, too, um, with some parents who withhold love or actually punish their child for trying to individualize themselves or disown them, which is something also too that I could attest to. Of like, oh, if you don't, you're not gonna go with this, then, and that could be very triggering and traumatic. So make sure that you are being very gentle with yourself when you are going through these programs because a lot of the times, especially if you are outwardly talking about it or you're outwardly conversing with people that also may be under that same program, you may get a lot of backlash because programming is a form of mind manipulation. Okay, being under a program and being programmed and programming is a form of mind manipulation. And with somebody who is not woke to the fact that they're under a program and they just feel like it's right, and it's certain type of things that will trigger them or make them feel a certain type of way when you're just trying to help yourself, but they're taking it personally. Or so be very careful when it comes to those aspects. And also to look at yourself as a child and see, okay, well, when I tried to do things that were outside of the norm as a child, was it accepted? How did people receive that? Okay. And also too, something else that a lot of people don't realize too is that if you can't remember a lot of your childhood, sometimes it could have been very traumatic. So taking time to remember those moments, because they could be playing key roles within your program or whatever program you may be in, or why you feel like you may need to be in that program. Because sometimes people feel the need to be in the program, like with the religious one. I'd rather just pray to another God instead of doing it myself. That's the ideology for some people. Okay, not everyone. Everyone's different, but So kind of break things down and see, okay, well, why is this here? The best way to separate programming from that which is really true for you is to meditate. Okay, you want to get into it, you could just sit in a chair or a couch or wherever with your feet planted on the ground, and you want to ground yourself. Okay, ground your feet and imagine roots coming out of your feet, grounding you into the ground. And you want to, after you're able to imagine that, you want to go ahead and spend about 10 minutes with the intention of releasing some of that program down into the ground. And I like to say to put a color to whatever the program is, okay? Whatever color you want to make it, put a color to it and imagine that color flowing out of your feet into the ground, and you're free after that, okay? Excuse me, y'all. Look at your beliefs and think about one of them and ask yourself, how does this serve me? How is it beneficial? Okay, how is it serving me? How is it beneficial? Because sometimes we'll be doing things that we may think are beneficial in our subconscious mind because we've been doing it so long, but sometimes it's very effective. Not just sometimes, it's very effective to question things, okay? And look at those core beliefs of like whatever you have as a core belief. And if you don't have any, you need to make some because that talks about who you are and your identity, right? Um, but ask yourself, is this benefiting me? Is this helping me? Is this something that is if it's not, is it necessary? About two, like you could do this with people, places, and things as well. All right, prioritizing this meditation and spending quality time communicating with yourself are essential to avoiding a program lifestyle. So that is why a lot of people will ask, why do we need to meditate? Why do we need to meditate? No, 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 no. Meditating is literally just to quiet your mind. Because us as humans, we are constantly on go, constantly thinking, constantly planning the next thing. We can't sit still. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. So meditation helps you to calm all that down. And eventually, after a while of meditating, you will be able to go into a meditative state throughout your day where you can calm all those questions down, all those uh lack beliefs, all those false accusations, okay? And you'll be able to put in there the affirmations or the things that you want to think when you want to think it, because you don't always have to be stressing about thinking in your head. And you will avoid being under a program or subconsciously being afflicted by it. Okay? So, yeah, and this also goes along with, like I told you guys a lot too. I always tell you guys, spending time in solitude is vital, okay? Because you need to know your own energy. If you do this exercise with others around, sometimes you can pick up on their energy. So it's very vital and important that you go ahead and do this alone. Sit with yourself, listen to yourself. That way, also, you'll be able to know when it's your thoughts or it's somebody else's thoughts, because you could be highly intuitive and you could be telepathic and you could hear people's thoughts, but you may think you're crazy. You may think it's your thoughts when really you picking up on somebody else. So spend that time alone so that you could be able to decipher and have discernment as well to know what is your energy, what's other people's energy, and what does it feel like in my energy space? What does my energy body feel like? Okay. So I hope this helped you guys to understand what a program is and how to maneuver through these programs, and honestly to really understand that it's not necessarily that we're trying to I can't tell you what you're trying to do, but it's not necessarily that we're trying to get rid of a program, but more so of understanding the science behind it, understanding why it's put, because a lot of the programs that will be put out, like especially with the social media where things will go down in social media, a lot of these things are rituals, and energy harvesting rituals. You feel me? And to get reactions from you and things like that. But yeah, I'm gonna do some conspiracy theory videos because I know everybody's not really into that type of thing. Okay, they may not feel like it's real, whatever the case may be. But yeah, we will do some conspiracy theory uh talks and things like that too, because um it's a lot of different programs existing all at once. But if you could catch on to the ones that are in your 3D reality, you'll be able to shift that energy and go ahead and transmute it and use it as power and coin it too. Okay. So I love you guys. Love yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Remember that knowledge is power, right? The more it's not to scare you. The more you know, the more you can utilize the energy for yourself instead of freely giving it to someone else and you're not even aware of it, right? So I love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.